What's going on, swim fans? In today's video, I am analyzing Michael Phelps' butterfly technique. Michael Phelps is the greatest swimmer of all time, not only because of his Olympic accolades in butterfly and all the other strokes, but because of his flawlessness in stroke technique. And in this video, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna show his stroke above the water, below the water. I'm gonna break down the analysis right here in real time with you guys. If you haven't already checked out the analysis I did on his freestyle technique, make sure you check it out, linked in the description below. I've also done an analysis on all the different strokes for all the top athletes in the world. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome to MySwimPro. We share the latest and greatest to help you improve your performance and health both in and out of the water. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed, like this video, and let me know in the comments what you think of Michael Phelps' butterfly technique, and let's begin. The first thing I want to focus on with Michael Phelps' stroke is just how smooth the recovery is. Here's a few great underwater shots. Let's go ahead and back up on that. Now, if you notice, it looks very graceful. So if we go ahead and just pause it while he's breathing, if you notice, he keeps his chin just at the surface level of the water. Take a look at that. There is the surface of the water. Actually, there's his chin, and there is the surface level of the water. You want to keep your body your head at least, as low to the surface as possible, because if you lift your head too high out of the water, then your hips are gonna sink on the back end, and that's gonna mean you're dragging your legs kind of like an anchor, and it's gonna make you swim really slow. So Michael has done an incredible job. Even though he breathes pretty much every single stroke in both the 100 and the 200 butterfly, he's able to swim so fast by maintaining his speed at all parts of the stroke. And when you breathe, that is potentially the slowest part of the stroke. In any stroke, short axis breaststroke and butterfly as well. Now we're gonna come back to that, but we're gonna look at his underwater dolphin kick. So when you push off the wall, you're pushing off in a streamlined position, and Michael is known for this. Since he was a teenager, he had these incredible underwater push off the wall and the dive. Now, although he isn't the fastest to 15 meters, he's incredibly consistent. And that consistency is something to note. Now, a lot of butterflyers actually have a different size amplitude. When I'm talking about amplitude, I'm talking about the total, the distance in how far you're kicking, both up and down. So Michael actually has a relatively bigger amplitude than a lot of other swimmers do underwater. So I did an analysis on Sarah Sjöström, and her underwater dolphin kick is actually a lot smaller than Michael's is. Doesn't mean anyone is wrong or right. Everyone has different body positions, strength, flexibility, and that all factors in. But if you notice, Michael is kicking in both the down direction as well as the up direction. When you do butterfly kick, or a flutter kick for that matter as well, you actually can pull the water in both directions. And so a lot of swimmers, they only focus on the down kick. That's this part right here. And that part is actually a lot easier. But you actually get the benefit of kicking both directions in butterfly. So the best swimmers in the world, and Michael included, they're actually kicking in both directions. And the faster you can kick in the up direction, then the faster you can return to the down kick, which is actually more powerful. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen, and we're going to look at this again in a little bit faster speed. There it is. Let's take a look at it. Now, if you notice, he's kicking in both directions, up and down. Eyes are looking down. The streamline is really good, meaning the fingertips are together. The arms are nice and tight. He's very narrow, like a torpedo moving through the water. This is something that's often overlooked. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in here. Now, if you look at what's going on with the hands, right? His body is in a straight line. That's not a good straight line. But if you notice, his fingertips are, one hand on top of the other. His eyes are looking down relatively. And that is a body line that we aspire to. He's trying to displace as little water as possible, maximizing the power of the kick. Now let's go ahead and move into the full part of the stroke after this dolphin kick. He's a beast. Here we go. Let's get in the stroke now. The pull, we're gonna start with the pull. When you look at the pull, it's almost like two freestyle strokes happening at the same time. We're gonna put it right here. What does that look like? It looks like a freestyle stroke. We got that high elbow catch. There's the other arm, right? And then the pull happens, not with a straight arm. Now, the shorter the distance, the butterfly, the more power you can generate. But really what we have here is two early vertical, I'm gonna write on the screen, early vertical forearm. And that really means you're positioning your hands from your fingertips to your elbow to pull the water behind you, because that is how you pull yourself forward. If you notice, his body line's pretty high in the water. His body's actually pretty flat at this point. So oftentimes swimmers, they have this like huge like up and down swivel. And really that's reserved for when you're under the water. When you're on top of the water, it's actually a little bit flatter. Even for someone like Michael Phelps, he isn't really displacing the water in that wave motion. So he's pretty flat on the upper body. I'm gonna pause it right there. His eyes are looking down. And at this point, if you start to notice, that is his body position. So what happened to his legs? His legs are sinking a little bit. His butt is no longer at the surface of the water. I'll draw the surface of the water. That is the surface of the water, and there's a gap between his butt, which means he's displacing more water. Now that's actually not that bad of a thing, because look what happens next. His eyes and his chest are gonna press down. Boom. And now look what happened to his hips. Remember that water line? That was the water line. And look at his butt. His butt's riding high in the water. You'd be able to see his butt because his hips are pressing up and his chest is pressing down. And that is where the actual motion of the dolphin kick appears in the butterfly stroke. A lot of times swimmers, they don't press their head and chest down after they breathe, and Michael is the best in the world at this specific part of the stroke. And this is why he's the fastest at the 200 fly, as well as the 100 fly. This can actually potentially limit your speed in the shorter distances, because you can actually have an even flatter stroke and just power through with your upper body in a short, like a 25 or a 50. Michael didn't focus on that. He focused on the 200 and the 100, and you can see why from this side angle. I love this side angle. Let's go ahead and keep watching and see how the stroke unveils. So finishing with the hands, pushing all the way through, press the chest. And there you can see the easy arm recovery. Now, it looks like his arms are actually bent a little bit, and I think they are, but you want to really focus on having a relatively straight arm recovery. You want your arms straight, and you want your arms to enter the water at shoulder width in front of you. Oh, we missed it. He's that fast. If you look at where his hands are entering, I know there's a lot of splash. His head was right there, and his hands are entering right at 11 and 1, the arms of a clock. Let's go ahead and put this in slow motion, make it a little easier to see. There you go. We talked about the head position being really flat right there. Yep, here it is again. You can see the hand entry, very clean. Power's under the water. The arm recovery over the water is smooth. Yeah, beautiful stroke. Now this is from back in his Michigan days as a teenager, early 20s. You can see the two, I want you to look at the strokes right here. So you can see how he's pressing his chest, he's pressing his chest down and his hips are coming up. You can't even see the top of his swimsuit, his butt, right? So this is the water line, right? And his body, what it looks like, I'm gonna draw that line again. That's what his body looks like, okay? And so if you look at those arm strokes, that's his arms, and I think he's actually increased his strength in the second half of his career when he was in his 20s, even early 30s. And so he was swimming with that flatter stroke with more power, not pressing his chest down quite as much. But if you notice, when he presses his chest down, he's still able to grab the water with his whole arms basically at such incredible precision and depth. So let's play this here, and you can see what that looks like. It looks like his kick has actually gotten a little bit more compact. A little bit of knee bend. You don't want to bend your knees too much. Again, this is training. Here's the finish of a race. You can see how the body lays out. And this is the unbelievable touch, 100th of a second beating Milorad Kavik. Oh my goodness, that's what 100th of a second looks like. Oh my God, if you guys missed that, because I know it's hard to miss, right? So this is Michael Phelps. And it looks like he lost it, but oh, so close at the finish. Oh my God, if you guys remember where you were when you watched that, absolutely unbelievable. What a machine! Woo! All right, let's talk about drills. So here is a great drill. It's called 2 strokes on your right, 2 on your left, 2 together. And what you're trying to do is work on that rhythm. We talked about that undulation motion. If you notice his elbow is bent, that's not how you swim the stroke, but in this drill, and his coach even talks about it, you're really focusing on pressing that chest down, getting the hips up. That's the most important thing. We couldn't be of complete analysis without talking about this arm slap. You know, there he is right there. We're gonna break this down a little bit. Here we go in slow motion. Before we get started, let's break it down. Here's the race. All right, here we go. Let's pause this. So as you can see, the arms are relatively straight. I do not advise this if you're not used to this because of the flexibility required. His eyes are focused on the diving, on his toes. It looks like he's got his left foot forward, his back foot back. Okay, let's see what happens next. Good, got a stretch. Here's your arm slap. 1, 2, and 3. And then he comes down, shakes it out, and then slaps. And then when you finish the race in 50.6, was from US Nationals, you get excited. You show the crowd your energy. Yes, let's go. Woo! I love it. We got a few more fun ones. Here we go. If you guys remember this from 2016, Chad Leclos right here playing suspect. But look at Michael's face. What is going on right here? I mean, it looks like he's about to tear apart someone's arms. I mean, this is like a monster. Look at the intensity, the focus on his face. Oh my goodness. And here we go. This is an ultimate throwback. 1996. This is the 50-meter butterfly. There's Michael Phelps. There he is. Check him out. Same arm swing. Good streamline. This is a 50 butterfly, and actually, he has a lot of the body rhythm technique that he carried on for the next 20 years of his career. However, his timing and breathing is completely terrible. If you watch on the way back, the timing of his breath is like at the absolute worst time. And here we go, ready? Watch, he breathes. He's breathing late. He like stops moving when he's breathing. And the reason why I show this is because even the best swimmer in the world was not always perfect. And of course, Phelps was not perfect. He was continuously focusing on improving. There's the arm swing. But remember, Michael Phelps has always pushed himself to be better, and I think you can do the same. I believe everyone is just one day away from achieving their gold medal moment, whether that's achieving your Olympic dreams or just trying to hit that PB or just trying to swim to be healthy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out the other analysis videos I've done. And if you haven't already checked out the MySwimPro app available for iOS and Android, make sure you check it out. Linked in the description below. Training programs, workouts for pool, open water, as well as dry land that you can do at home with or without any equipment. And finally, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching this video. For you all, you make sure you check out the MySwimPro Facebook group linked in the description below. We have thousands of swimmers from over 100 countries who are all in that group, from beginners to former Olympians. We're passionate about getting better. That is the best digital swimming community in the world, quite frankly. Make sure you check it out, linked in the description below. And until next time, happy swimming.